Lesson 120 is about volume of pyramids, cones, and spheres, and surface area of pyramids and cones. Now in this lesson, there are many different formulas. Be sure that you get all those formulas written down into your notes today. The first question says, the base of a triangular pyramid 4 meters tall is shown. So here's the base. Find the volume of the pyramid shown. Here it is. Dimensions are in meters. So the formula for volume of a pyramid, make sure you get this in your notes, is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So let's go ahead and find out what it's going to be. The area of the base, well, it's a triangle for this pyramid, so the area of the base is going to be 6 times 3 divided by 2. So 6 times 3 divided by 2, we'll use a different color. 6 times 3, that's 18. And half of 18 is 9. So the area of the base, that must be 9, and it's going to be in square meters. The height of this problem is 4, that's what it tells us. That's 4 meters, and remember height is always measured straight up and down. And then we're going to have to multiply this by 1/3. 9 times 4 is 36, and it would have to be 36 cubic meters. And then we're going to multiply that by 1/3. When we multiply a number by 1/3, it's like dividing it by 3. So 36 divided by 3, well, that's going to give us 12. And we've got our answer of 12 cubic meters. Pause the video now if you need more time before we move on to our next example. Let's find the volume of a circular cone 4 centimeters tall whose radius is 10 centimeters. So the volume of a cone is the same as the volume that we had of a pyramid. It's 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. The base, we're told, had a radius of 10 centimeters. So first thing we need to do is find the area of the base, and the base area, A, is going to be pi times the radius squared. So that's going to be equal to 3.14 times our radius of 10 squared. 10 squared is 100, and 3.14 times 100, well, that must be 314. So we've got 314, that's area, so square centimeters. We need to multiply that times the height. These problems are nice. They will often just tell us the height right out. But remember, the height is the distance straight up and down. This one is 4 centimeters tall. So it's 4 centimeters tall. And we're going to have to multiply all this by 1/3. So let's do 314 times 4. 4 times 4, that's 16, and we'll carry our 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5, and 4 times 3 is 12. So we get 1256. But we've got to divide that by 3, or multiply it by 1/3. So 1256 divided by 3. 3 goes into 12 4 times, that's 12. Got 0 left over, we bring down our 5. 3 goes into 5 1 time, that's 3. With 2 left over, we bring down our 6. 3 is going to go into 26. Well, 3 is going to go into 26 8 times. That's 24. We've got 2 left over. We're going to add a decimal point and a 0. 3 goes into 20 6 times. That's 18. We've got 2 again. We don't have room for a 2 again, but we're going to have a 0. 3 would go into 20. Well, it would go in 6 times, and you can see we've got a repeating decimal. Now, rather than writing this as a decimal, let's write it as a mixed number. That'll be easier. So we had 2 left over, remember? So our answer would be 418 2/3. That must be in cubic centimeters. And we've got our answer. We could go ahead and box it and move on to the next question. It's definitely possible that we could have an answer for a problem like this that's a mixed number. Our next example asks us to find the volume of a sphere whose radius is 10 centimeters. Now, on the bottom you can see to find the volume of a sphere, we need to multiply 2/3 times the area of cylinder base times the height. Now the cylinder base is just our cylinder in the center here. So the area of our cylinder base, that's going to be pi times the radius squared. So pi times our radius of 10 squared, well, that's going to be 3.14 times 100, because 10 squared is 100. So that must be 314 square centimeters. So that's our area of cylinder base, 314 square centimeters. Our height is 10, so we'll multiply those together. 314 square centimeters times 10 centimeters. Well, that must be 3,140 cubic centimeters. So we're going to get 3,140 cubic centimeters, and we're going to multiply it times 2/3. Now, 3,140 cubic centimeters is the same thing as 3,140 over 1. So in this problem, if we look at it, we're going to have to multiply 2 times 3,140. That must be 6,280 if we double each number, and then divide that by 3. Let's do the math on the right-hand side. 6,280 divided by 3. Well, 3 goes into 6 2 times. That's 6 with nothing left over, and we bring down our 2. 3 never goes into 2, so we bring down our 8. 3 is going to go into 28 9 times, because 3 times 9 is 27. We have 1 left over. Bring down our 0. 3 goes into 10. 3 times. We get 9 with 1 left over. So we get 2,093 and 1/3. And our answer here must be in cubic centimeters. So we've got our final answer. We could box it and move on to our next question. The rest of the lesson is about surface area. And here we have to find the surface area of the pyramid given. So, the base of the pyramid is here, and the area of the base must be the length times the width, because it's a square, so 4 times 4 is 16. And we'll say that these are in inches. So we're going to get 16 square inches. These are also in inches, so we can see one of the face, and a pyramid will have 4 faces. One of the faces here has a base of 4 and a height of 3. So we're going to multiply 4 times 3, and to find the area of a triangle, we divide base times height by 2. 4 times 3 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So we know we have 4 different faces, so 6 times 4 is equal to 24. This would have to be square inches again because it's area. And then we add our 16 inches onto that. 24 plus 16, that's our total surface area. That must be 40 square inches. And we've got our answer. We only have one more example left in this lesson. It's been a long lesson, but a lot of good information. Now we need to find the surface area of a right circular cone whose slant height is 2 meters and whose radius is 1 meter. Now to find the surface area, we're looking for how much area there is throughout all of our surfaces. To find the surface area of a cone, we have to find the area of the base and then add pi times the radius times the slant height. And that will tell us what the surface area is of our curved outside cone piece. So, to find the area of the base, we know that this problem tells us the radius is 1 meter. So if the radius is 1 meter, it's going to look like this. The slant height is 2 meters. And 2 meters, that tells us the diagonal distance. That's why it's called the slant height. So the area of the base is going to be pi times the radius squared. So 3.14 times 1 squared, well 1 squared is 1, and 1 times 3.14 is going to be 3.14. Plus, well now we have pi times the radius times the slant height. So pi times the radius, well we know that's already going to be 3.14 times 1. So that's going to be 3.14 times 1 times our slant height of 2. And that will tell us our answer for this part of the problem. 3.14 times 1 is 3.14. and 3.14 times 2 must be 6.28 when we double each number. So we can find our final answer by adding 6.28 to 3.14. 6.28 plus 3.14, well, 8 plus 4 gives us 12. We'll carry our 1. 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. And then we get a 6 plus 3, 4, 9. We've got 9.42. That must be the surface area of this cone, and it must be in square meters because we're talking about area. We can box it, and that's our final example for today. Lesson practice will be on page 381. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.